Heroes Toy Reviews is not intended for children or anyone under the age of 17. Thank you.
Today, for Star Trek Month, we will be reviewing Admiral Dr. McCoy. Today on Heroes Toy Review.
Hebro77 here, and welcome to a brand new YouTube channel. This is Hebro's Toy Review. But this is the 1983 Jump Jetpack. I just broke this crotch. What do you think about her? I was playing tennis with This is the Daniel.
Hello everybody and welcome to Heroes Toy Reviews. As we count down, we are almost there. Friday is our last day. We will be reviewing, that's right, the bridge of the USS Enterprise D. But today we will be reviewing Admiral McCoy. Now, why are we going to be reviewing Admiral McCoy? Well, number one, because I've never done it before. And number two is he was technically in the very first episode of the very first season of Star Trek The Next Generation. And, you know, the Admiral was a very remarkable man. So with that being said, let's get down to the review. From the original series, the Star Trek The Next Generation, this man lives on in infamy. Hope I said that right. He is known in The Next Generation as Admiral Leonard H. McCoy. Where did the doctor title go? Did he no longer have a PhD? Did they strip him of Chief Medical Officer? No, it says right here on the package. The Chief Medical Officer of Classic Series, from the Classic Series, returns, it says. Well, but yet his doctor title's not present here. Now, Admiral Dr. McCoy does come with Starfleet medical equipment, such as the thing, that thing. And, of course, the medical bag and this thing here and a tricorder, medical tricorder, I should say. Dr. McCoy, legendary guy, was in the original series. Of course, played by legendary actor DeFrost Kelly, who was also in that Crazy Rabbit movie, Night of the Lepus. I almost said lupus, but I corrected myself. Night of the Lepus, which was also a MSTK 3000? Am I saying that correctly? Mystery Science Theater 3000? Yes. Anyway, this was just, he was an awesome actor. He was the original Dr. McCoy, the original Star Trek doctor of all the doctors, and well-deserved recognition. Had a very special appearance on the very first episode of Next Generation, and rightly so. Now this package, he's in the package, and I actually bought this from an antique store, and you can see whoever sold it to the antique store took this off of here, and I think that was to lessen the confusion. That might have been Venture or KB's. It looks more like it has like a yellow thing on it. It might have been from Venture. But anyway, it a lot less than probably where it was. $2.99. Good price for this thing, I must say. But comes with exclusive Skybox Playmates collector card, which a lot of them do. And here's the card. Now, sometimes they'll show whoever is inside the package on the front with a completely different biopic on the back. Speaking of the back, let's flip this baby around and see what we got going on here. Now, on this card back, they were advertising coming soon from Beyond the Final Frontier, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, action figures and accessories. Wow, so it was brand new at that time. And then coming spring of 94. Okay, I've been making mistakes. That's right, the show ended in 94, if I'm not mistaken. But coming spring of 94, Star Trek Deep Space Nine video game on Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Boy, I flubbed that up. Anyway, and we got Captain Jean-Luc Picard on here. The Skybox Collector's Card Series was Captain Jean-Luc Picard. And of course, we have a lot of really cool action figures, and some I don't even have yet. There's Vorgon. He was in that episode, Captain's Holiday. And then we have Q. I have him. And then we have Kalar. I have her. Lore. I would love to get him. And then, of course, Counselor Deanna Troi. Locutus. I have both of them. Ambassador Spock. I would love to get him. Commander Scylla. I would love to get her. Of course, Beverly Crusher, have her. Cadet Wesley Crusher, I think I have him, unless it's a different one I have. Borg, of course, I have him. Lieutenant Geordi LaForge. Oh, sorry, Lieutenant Junior Grade Worf. I said Geordi LaForge, didn't I? But I have him. Captain Jean-Luc Picard, I have him. Commander William T. Riker, I have him. Captain Scott, I have him. Lieutenant Commander Data. Lieutenant Junior Grade Geordi LaForge. And, of course, Admiral Mccoy, which we're looking at now. Lieutenant Commander Dress Geordi LaForge, I would love to get him. Klingon Warrior Worf. I would love to get him to add for my Klingon collection. And of course it shows all the different accessories that he comes with. I know I've named a few of them, but this is a Starfleet medical monitor. Transfers data directly to and from the ship's medical computers. Okay, now I know what it is. Medical tricorder, we know what that is. Portable medical kit holds all McCoy's medical emergency and field equipment, of course. Hyperspray, I couldn't think of the name for it a while ago. And of course, each and every one of these figures comes with their own figure stand. And he has a file card down here which explains all of what he is. We're not going to go into that whole thing. If you want to read it, I will keep the camera still here, put it on the screen for you. I don't know if you could read all that. It's probably super small. I'll read this part. Subject, Dr. Leonard McCoy, species human, we know that. Rank, Admiral, retired. Last active duty USS Enterprise NCC 1701A, and he's 137 years old. Now, this is something that's actually coming true as people are living longer and longer. I think the oldest person might have been like 120 or something like that. Maybe even older. I don't know for sure. But yeah, this is something medical science is causing age advancements. And so this is something that might be a real thing in the near future. Which actually it is a real thing right now. where that might actually become a common age. Much like, back in the day, the common age was like 50, and later on, of course, the common age was like 70, and now the common age is like 80. So who knows, another 20 years from now, it might be 137. But anyway, now that we've seen Dr. McCoy in the package, and I really hate to do this, I've had him in there for a long, long time, but it's time to let this man breathe once and for all. Here's what Dr. McCoy looks like outside of the package. So here he is outside the package with his file or his card. Let's take a look at the back of this thing. What does it say on the back? Oh, it actually matches up with the front. That's very unusual. And you can see his figure stand. And here are all his accessories. And I think I'm going to kind of just leave them taped up like that. I mean, what's the use of breaking them apart now? And here is good old Admiral McCoy. But before we take a look at him, I want you to see this package. It never ceases to amaze me how easy it is to open one of these old packages. They just tear open just with the flick of a thumb. I mean, just zoop, done. Anyway, that goes into the fire. And look how yellow this is. I mean, maybe you can't see it on camera, but it is very, very yellowed, almost like a dark brown. Goes to show I really am a smoker, and I probably need to stop. But anyway, we got Admiral McCoy here. He's looking very cool with his little Admiral pads here at the top of his shoulders. Looks like he's wearing an old grandpa sweater. And I look for him at any second now to break out the Werven, what's it called? Werven Originals. Those caramel candies, you know what I'm talking about. I'm pronouncing it all screwy McLuey, but he's got these arms. They bend at the elbow, which is cool. And then the sleeves have the stripes around them, which almost look like the old school uniforms. And then if you look at even closer, the pants cuff at the bottom, just like the old school uniforms did. And I can't really see, like on the show, his face looks much, much more wrinkled. And of course they used prosthetics in order to achieve that look of 137. But if you really looked at the Defrost Kelly, he kind of looked like that after he was about ready to die, sadly enough. But he's just trucking along. Whoops, sorry, Grandpa. He's just trucking along there, and there's really not much you can say about this character except I have Scotty and I have Kirk, and now I have him. And if you want him to add to your Star Trek collection, then go for it. These figures are fairly cheap on the aftermarket, and they're probably getting even cheaper, I would venture to say, judging by the price of that. Of course, that was a few years ago. Who knows? They may be dwindling down, and now maybe the prices are going up. I might have just destroyed a priceless artifact. I don't know. But anyway, if you are a Star Trek Next Generation completist, then you might want to add Admiral Leonard H. McCoy to your Star Trek Next Generation action figure collection. Well, that does it for this review. Tomorrow, which is Friday, we close out Star Trek month with one final review. That is the Bridge of the Enterprise D. And boy, that's going to be a doozy, a big one. I think you're really going to enjoy it. So stick around because you're not going to want to miss it. But until then, just remember this. Knowing isn't just half the battle, it's the whole damn war. See you next time.